broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What is up, gladiators? Welcome to another AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for Scandal, Season 4, Episode 11. Where's the black lady? I mean, we have two on the panel right here, but I'm your host, Emile Ennis Jr. Make sure you like us on iTunes and SoundCloud. Also, if you're watching us live, thank you. Make sure you click that like button, and yeah, if you're not watching live, make sure you like as well. YouTube.com/AFTERBUZZ TV for those who are wondering. If you're listening, you can follow me at Emile Ennis Jr. And I'm joined here, as always, with three amazing people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kennelia. You can follow me or find me at Kennelia.
Hey, everyone. I'm Sofia Stanley, and you can find me at Sofia Stanley.
And I am Bamm Ericsen, at Bamm Ericsen on all social media.
Perfect. So let's just get right into it. We'll figure out, what we think about the episode as we dissect. So we have Andrew, who has suddenly got some balls. Andrew came to this episode just demanding. We had the Secret Service who started the episode. Do you think it's realistic what's happening right now with the Secret Service and how much power Andrew has being a fresh vice president?
No. And I say this because Andrew wasn't even the original vice president.
Yeah.
So you know all these people. You have all these connections. You have everybody in the White House, outside of the White House, on speed dial, and you're only the vice president because Sally Langston isn't the vice president anymore.
Bring Sally back. Mm-hmm.
If you have all this power and these connections, you should have been in the White House in the first place. Or you should have been command. You should have been command. Like, why aren't you further up the food chain? Not saying that vice president is working, like a little side gig. But you know all these people, and you're the vice president. So I'm confused. It was just confusing.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of what Kennelia just said wholeheartedly. Not only that you know all these people, that you somehow rule by fear or certainty to such a degree that they are willing to go against the President of the United States of America. Let's think about this. So you are literally within the Oval Office going to stare eye to eye and threaten the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America? So it's a different level of not just having fingers out there, but having fingers that are that, and I'm trying to think of a better word, but the only word I can think of is gully. That people who are that gully to ride with you that hard, that to me is unbelievable. Period.
Ma'am?
I just thought it was a stupid storyline.
Okay.
How about you, Emile?
I just think I agree with everything everybody's saying. It's just, I just want to know, when did they form this allegiance to, as Kennelia would say all last season, Baggy Andrew with the baggy suits?
And was there a meeting? Like, where did they meet?
Happen?
At a Starbucks? Like, what happened?
We need to see a backstory for how this happened, because it's just so, I just don't get it. Like, how the secretaries, like the chefs, everybody's just suddenly against the president. Like, what did Fitz do for you to all of a sudden follow Andrew? You know what I mean?
And the fact that how the guy walked in, chest all out, saying, you have no option, this is it. Who the hell are you? Who the hell do you think you are to walk into this man's office?
You mean the Secret Service guy?
Correct.
Yeah. I just think, can Fitz not fire these people still?
And my thing is, so if Andrew, something happens to him and he disappears, so they're just going to still be working there like everything is all good? Like, hey, Fitz was good. Like, it's going to erase everything that just happened. So everybody in the White House staff is fired? Or they're just going to expect to still be there, like now Fitz doesn't know that they're riding with Andrew?
So let's talk about the progression of this. So we had the first where he has a demand saying, you're being watched, we're going to keep an eye on you, all these different things. As the episode progressed, we had the scene, he basically declares war, which we'll go into Olivia later, but he declares war because Andrew says, I will kill Olivia Pope, we need to work together. But then we have that scene in the, what's the room called? They had the little boardroom where they're meeting, talking.
The situation
The
room.
situation room, yes. And we have that scene. And we see that he finally tells Cyrus, but why do you think there was such a strong delay in telling Cyrus? Could he not have figured out another way? Because keep in mind, when and we're going to backtrack here, he went and talked to Tom, and Tom, go ahead.
When did Tom become such a model-looking type dude? His hair is neatly combed.
Yeah.
He's clean shaved. Tom has never looked so smooth and so pretty in all 3 seasons. And
until he was in AfterBuzz Studio.
Right.
That's true.
What'd you say?
And now that he is, now that he's on punishment, now all of a sudden he's got hair gel and he looks like an Abercrombie & Fitch model.
Well, it's true. But
I'm just saying.
That's very true. But when he was in there talking to Tom, he asked Tom, who can I trust? In my detail, Tom basically says, no one. Where can I talk in private? The place you always talked in private. So he goes to Olivia's house and he talks to Jake. And he tells Jake before he does Cyrus. And he tells Jake, you need to save Olivia. And they devise this plan or whatever. I just find it hard to believe that he would wait this long to tell Cyrus. And I don't know why that's hard for me, but I feel like he could have figured out some way to tell Cyrus prior to this. Because I understand they've had their differences in the past for different reasons. But Cyrus, like he says, is a bulldog. Cyrus will fight for him. Cyrus will figure out a plan and think when Fitz can't think. Because Fitz's mind is clouded right now. So why wouldn't he go to the one person who could possibly come up with the situation besides going to war immediately?
So I just thought about it in this moment because I was having the same problem that you are.
Okay.
I think because he didn't want to put him in harm's way. In that moment, and I think that they did really do an excellent job with the camera angles of making Fitz really feel paranoid, right? Where he's like, I literally don't know who I can trust and I don't know where people are.
Right.
I think I don't think he ever doubted that he could trust Cyrus. I think he doubted whether or not by telling Cyrus, he potentially would be putting Cyrus in harm's way.
Okay.
Because arguably, if someone is so powerful, whether or not it's Andrew, and that it's like, wah, 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 but whether or not it's Andrew or not, they're obviously willing to kill. Killing Cyrus would be nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I think that at first he was still questioning who he could potentially risk life or limb for, and I think that's why once he talked to Mellie and realized, okay, if I truly love this woman, regardless of whether or not I think I'm doing the right thing as the president not going to war, as a man I need to, that's when he realized he had to tell people. I think that switch needed to happen because arguably Cyrus loves Olivia too.
Right.
And Cyrus would have backed him going to war. I think he needed to make the decision on his own. So I think he didn't tell Cyrus because he needed to not make the decision. Or do you know what I'm trying to say? Because at first he wasn't going to go to war. By telling Cyrus, he probably would have been more likely to go to war. Once he made the decision, then that's, I think, when he started building his team.
But it was more so Mellie who gave him the last thought before he went to war. It was really Mellie.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure that was on his mind, and Mellie was just like sealed the deal. What I like though is how they led up to that scene with Mellie in the office, because I really like where they're going with her character this whole season. But when they had the scene and Mellie was confessing that I slept with Andrew again, and she said, I thought I could recreate something like you and Liz have, like a true love where you really are down for her. But he's like, he hasn't been here for me. And then she goes on to say, I like what we have because we have a partnership. We have a clear, defined relationship. And it was cool to see that, but it was also so sad that it was sad but not sad because she's there, but it was sad because it's like, I want Mellie to feel that love and that happiness like she's incomplete right now. She's not, but she is.
Yeah, and I feel sad for her too on the strength of the partnership that Mellie's talking about isn't the partnership that she deserves, meaning give her some projects.
Yeah.
Give her something real to do. Don't have her here doing reading to the kids. Of course, the First Lady has to do stuff like that. You see Michelle Obama reading to the kids in the garden, pulling up cabbage. You see it. That's what happens.
Turnips.
Right, turnips and dancing. But give her something, some meat. Give her something to do. That's a partnership. Mellie's smart.
Yeah.
Let her flex her muscles. Let her be that person. That's I'm your partner, right?
But Mellie does flex her muscles. She chooses the wrong weights to flex her muscles with. I think.
Or does she though?
No.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about that. But as far as to unboard herself, she makes decisions. I can't remember, but she made a decision, and she spoke when she wasn't supposed to speak for something. I can't remember a couple earlier in the season. But she can flex her muscle and do things as a first lady that she can do and can take control of, but I just think she does the wrong things, but she can if she chooses to.
Kennelia, correct me if I'm wrong. I think what Kennelia was saying is that the president should give her more to do, because the president's the one that has authority, and this is why. And I've always said this: the true, whether or not you call it a trinity, whether or not you call it a menage a trois, non-sexual nature, to me in this show has always been Fitz, Olivia, and Mellie. Regardless of how we think of Mellie and Fitz, they are still in an intimate relationship. The fact of the matter is, the person that he asked of whether or not he could go to war was his wife. The fact that she, regardless of what we think, to me, loves him so much, number one. Number two, is so, I think, in love with love. And what that means and being a hero for love, that she basically told her husband to go to war for another woman. That woman deserves to be given a platform by the President of the United States that is commensurate with her intellect and her business acumen. She deserves a platform that the President of the United States stands beside her and looks up to her and says, isn't my wife intelligent? Isn't she brilliant? You guys know that she basically is smarter than me. She really should be president.
Agree, but what I'm saying is that if he's not going to do it, then she should take it upon herself to do certain things in order to okay. If we are in some kind of a relationship or something, and you already know that I'm gonna not allow you to do certain things, as a strong woman, I think she should take the initiative to do certain things herself. That's my point.
I mean, but there's only so much she can do, without being shut down. If we're being honest, it's the President of the United States that she's married to, so she can try to do these things, but she'll get shut down unless Fitz allows it. So I don't know. I just like where it's going. It's just sad to see that she keeps making all these sacrifices for Fitz. Like, she already was raped by Big Jerry. Now she's, I don't want to say whoring herself out, but in the way she is to get in with Andrew and get the information for Fitz. And it's part of the partnership, but a lot of times it seems like she's the one who's suffering the most in the partnership.
I thought it was messed up when she had the conversation with him, and then how he disrespectfully took his 2 fingers.
But no. I don't think it was disrespectful. She was revealing information because remember they said the place is bugged. So she was talking
she said election.
Yeah, she said election. As soon as he said election, because if Andrew finds that out, the cat's out of the bed. Then all hell will break loose, because he has information that can get him impeached like that. And then he's straight into the White House. Forget the war. He can go straight there immediately. So... And I think now she understands. I love the way this episode was shot, though, in the scene on the patio or the balcony, whatever, with how they played them kissing, and then strategically, she puts his hand. It was all well done for that. So, yeah, the last thing I'll say about Andrew is when I got really heated when he was sitting in Fitz's chair. Because regardless of what power you think you have, to sit in the President of the United States chair, even if you're blackmailing him, whatever it may be, that just shows you just can respect him at all.
It doesn't. But then again, Andrew, for real, you're only here because Sally isn't here anymore, dude. Get out of my seat.
Yeah.
Stop acting like you were down for the cause from the beginning. Stop it. I found you when I needed somebody to help booster my ratings. That's why you're here. Not because you really dope and you earned the spot, and I should have kicked you out after I found out you slept with Mellie and I was butthurt, even though I had a girlfriend. Andrew really needs to be checked. At this point, Fitz should just knock him out.
But this is my problem with Fitz. When Jake is tied up, he has no arms, he can't swing, he can't kick, he can't do anything. Now all of a sudden you're going to take your shirt off, you're going to roll your sleeve up, and now you tough, right? The reality is this. Andrew is sitting in your chair.
Right.
You need to have you've already said that you're going to war, okay? Now the man is sitting in your chair. You need to be a damn man. You need to do something, whether you need to throw a cup at him. You need to go over there. You need to grab it. Like, you need some balls, and that's my problem with Fitz.
So I want to pull Sofia and play devil's advocate though, and I don't want to break it down though. But what would the consequence be if he did that? So I just want to know, like, what exactly would he have to lose if he did that?
I mean,
nothing in real life.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. And I'm going to talk against what I said when we were watching. It's almost similar to last episode when they shot Ian, but it wasn't really Ian, right? They literally, arguably, can bring her back on camera and punch her. Just because she needs to be safe doesn't mean they can't hit her on some real talk. So that's what if I was a grimy bad person, that's what I would do. Because I would make sure that like, I'm not playing with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's ironically what Andrew was doing. Like, Andrew was really literally saying, no, I actually don't respect you. Like, you literally have no cards to play because I'm already the president of the United States of America. That's what he was saying, number one. Number two, he wasn't in there alone. He was literally in there with your Secret Service sitting in your chair.
Oh, they were there too?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Just ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Now, but I have a quick thing. My only problem is, even though I do wish that Fitz had hit him, my problem, part of it is, and I understand the paranoia, and I think that those scenes were great, but you don't got nobody in the White House. You've been there for 6 years, and you don't have people. Like, I have to bring it to real life for a second. Part of the reason why, and this could be a blessing or a curse, that Hillary Clinton could either make the best president or not the best president is because people already think she is DC. Right? So meaning, arguably, if I was to vote for her, part of what I'm voting for is she already has feelers everywhere. Right? Because she's already was in the White House for 8 years, and then again, she was there as from a congressperson. Right? So meaning, she has allegiances that she can literally say one word or snap a finger and everyone knows what to do. Right? Arguably, that's the same reason you might not want to vote for her, because she already has feelers, and if you want, quote unquote, a new government or a new politics, you don't want to vote for her.
That's good.
But to me, the fact that he's been there for 6 years and he doesn't have people.
All right.
Because even when you first get on, look at our president now. He brought a couple of his homies with him. Eric Holder was his friend. What's her name? The woman who was responsible for coordinating all of the events. What's the black lady's name?
I know who you're talking about.
She was their friend from Chicago.
Yes.
He brought people with him. It's possible for Fitz to have done the same. However, we just didn't see it, and now Andrew's sitting in the chair. Like, I can't.
I mean, the only thing is, maybe his alliances fell apart because he was always sneaking off with Olivia, but we won't go there.
And Tom, I felt like Tom alluded to that when they were speaking about how.
Helen of Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll send 1,000 ships to save.
But I don't think that has anything to do with his allegiances. That just has to do with the fact that Tom knows that that's his weak spot.
Yeah.
Not his kids, though, but we won't talk about that.
The shade is real. Okay. So let's talk about Lizzie Bear. And let's break this down. Okay.
Well, first of all, can I just say, Guillermo?
Oh, yes.
Guillermo.
Yes.
Guillermo.
As an actor, like, when you walk on the screen and literally it feels like the room changes.
He changes the energy.
It changes the energy. Because, like, we love this show, but obviously on any show you watch, there's times you're going to watch a show and you're in the show like, oh, I felt that was whack, or I'm not feeling this. When he came on the screen, though, literally our whole mood changed. Like, oh, there goes Huck. Huck's going in. Yeah. Because when we saw Huck come on the screen and he was in her house, like, we were like, oh.
Yeah, and when she opened up the door, he was sitting on the bed. He talked to his face. Was like, yo, look at Huck's face, man. Huck.
I just love those.
Scary. You know what it was like? It's is it Silence of the Lambs? Silence of the Lambs, one with the actor that passed away. Oh my God, I'm gonna think about it. And he's kind of like lying on the bed, like all kind of like sexy like. Someone on Twitter let me know. It's Silence of the Lambs, but it's the second movie.
When he I don't know. Do
you know what I'm talking? Anyways, forget that. I'll talk about it online. But literally, it was almost like there was even something a little bit like eerie seductive. Yeah. The way that he was angled on the bed looking at her. I literally was like, oh my God.
He killed that scene.
He looked like Jack Nicholson on The Shining Cup. You know, he was like,
He was giving me a lot in that scene. He was giving me some Liam Neeson from Taken. Like, he was giving me a lot.
The only thing with that is, if someone is in my house the first time with my children there, after that, I'm going to get a gun. I'm going to do something to...
She had people outside. She had protection outside watching the house.
She does not realize, though, and that's the thing, she doesn't realize, Ian doesn't realize, a lot of these people who are a part of this plan, including Andrew, don't realize the power that Olivia has.
Agreed.
Yeah. And even though, like, Olivia had that moment in there, she's like, I'm Olivia Pope, I'm going to save us, and she starts laughing. It doesn't matter, that's useless in here, but... Olivia still is Olivia Pope, and regardless of the fact that she was in captivity or still is in captivity, and now we'll dissect that in a minute, now she's controlling her captivity, but the fact that she was in captivity and they have no clue about the power her team has, that just shows how naive they are. Because for Lizzie Bear to think, and I know she doesn't understand, or she didn't know that Olivia was taken or whatever, so I get that. But when Huck initially came in, her approach with Andrew wasn't serious enough. Like, when she went and approached Andrew about it, like, it was not... The gravity of the situation is somebody came in my house and threatened my daughter and my life. So you need to tell me where... Like, she should have been way more pressing than she was. That bothered me. But what did she think having these guards... Or, like, what did she think I was going to do?
I think she thinks that they were there to protect her. Yeah. I think that, and it's sad, I think that at the end of the day, right, you think that you're in bed with the Vice President of the United States of America. So going back on what we said, that is literally a big deal, right? He did something grimy that you were not aware of. Now you have protection, so arguably it's at least Secret Service level. I can't remember the car that was outside. It definitely wasn't DC Police, because I know the DC Police cars, so I'm not sure who it was, but we can assume it's high-level security.
Okay.
You think you're safe. Well, I still think she's wrong, but I think that's what she's thinking.
On another note, then, if I was in that same situation and I have the highest level of security that's available to me, I would be like, okay, little Susan or Becky, whatever the child's name is, come sleep with me.
That I totally agree with you. Yeah.
Come sleep with me. Like, if this is your child that you truly care about, why are you leaving her in the room by herself?
On the California King bed.
Exactly.
Like, why is she on the California King bed?
She needs a twin.
But
is right there.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute, because I completely agree with you, and I have actually tons of issues with that aspect of the storyline, but I think it also plays to the naivete of what's the thing? It's like when little kids try to play adult people games. That's really what it is. Like, what was your plan?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So, what part of you think faking a bomb or a terrorist plot on U.S. soil to then try to go to war in Angola wasn't some serious, like, I was going to curse, you're a traitor.
Yeah.
And you literally can be, like, shot and no one will even know, because you don't even need to get a trial, because we can do it under, like, the Patriot Act.
Yeah. And I think that's what Andrew was saying. Like, Andrew was like saying, what did you expect to happen?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to be down for that and not down for this?
Completely.
So what I want to talk about, though, with this scene, then we saw the toolbox. And then we saw the toolbox, Huck was going to do this thing. So what I want to break down is, it looked like lashes on her back. We don't know exactly what he did. But when she pulled her shirt off in the office and showed what Huck did, do you think that was an effective way of torture?
I thought it was fake at first. I was like, did she get a costume makeup person to come in and put this? Because there was no blood on her silk top.
Right. Oh, wait, sorry. That wasn't the first time we saw her. When did she, it wasn't in OPA. When did she reveal her back?
To Melly.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was like, her faking it, like, look what he did, tell me. Because, again, if you lit my back up like that, you lit my back up. She looked like Denzel on Glory when he was getting, like, when she tore her back up, and she was just out here with a suit on.
Yeah. And I'm gonna back up for that. Please, what is she? She's the chairman of the RNC. Like, she's a suit.
Yeah.
Okay. The minute Huck appeared that second time in her house, said that I will kill your daughter or cut your daughter and make you watch, and then the next day is there in her bed with a toolbox. The minute you open the toolbox, I'm telling you everything you need to know.
Right.
So arguably, he didn't need to torture her that bad. Like, he literally, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the scene, but she could have had one little cut. She could have had one little bruise on her neck. So he didn't need to cut up her whole. So literally, think about it. As he's cutting, she's like, "No, I'm not going to tell you. No, I'm not going to."
But here's the question, though. Does she know anything to tell? Because remember, all she did after the torture was bring the phones. What really does Lizzie Bear know?
Oh, I guess what you're saying. Because actually, what she did is, you're right.
So then,
and she only brought the phone because Melly got the phone.
Yeah, exactly. So she went to Melly. That's an excellent point.
So then the question is, why was there so much torture if she has nothing to share or disclose?
Well, he probably liked it and he got mad.
He got off for a little bit.
And also, too, can I say something? These writers, like, on some real talk, are some bad mamma jammas. Yeah. And you want to know why?
Ramla Muhammad is the one who wrote the episode for tonight.
They have a way, to me, of bringing in current events, specifically political issues, in such a way to arguably, if you're into that or not into that, make you think. Again, wasn't it, and I could be, off a little bit, but wasn't it just a couple of months ago that there was the huge report about torture? Yes. And literally that people were unaware of the nature of sanctioned torture, number one, but number two, whether or not it's actually effective. Yeah. Right? So I think that the underpinning of the storyline is that. Is it or is it not effective? The main plot is the fact that Huck likes it. So at the end of the day, Huck was like, I don't like you. You had something to do with taking my girl. So I'm going to you up.
Light you up.
But I think the understory is whether or not torture is effective at all, number one. And number two, whether or not it's something as a civilized society we should condone and or sanction.
Well, from the looks of her walking into Melly's office, Portia, the character, Lizzie, she can't be no more than 115 pounds. So the fact that she walked in not like, for myself, if I have any kind of bruise of that magnitude, I won't be able to sit down hardly. So obviously she wasn't fazed.
Well, and I'll do the devil's advocate. Maybe because of her position, she has to act normal, or at least try to deal with the pain just to not cause questions from people around her. So because if you watch, and like I said, I'm just trying to figure this out, but when you watch, when she first walked in the room, you couldn't tell anything was wrong, but then when she got with Melly and she got comfortable, then she started to really loosen up and show the pain a little bit. Same when she was in OPA, when she walked in, she wasn't really walking the same way or acting the same way. She was physically in pain. So it could just be her surroundings. She's trying to cover it up, and she seems like she's a strong woman despite what we think about her. So maybe it is just she's trying to mask that pain. But I just can't. I'm trying.
That's a good point. Well, you know what? Go ahead.
And she'll be masking those scars for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So now, whenever she's with a man, whenever her daughter sees her with a tank top on, now your back is destroyed.
She can't wear no bikini. She have to wear a shawl every time she goes to the beach. Well, you got a T-shirt on though.
Right. She got the family reunion T-shirt on when she at the pool. Come on.
But gladiators, make sure that you join the conversation, especially if you are watching live on the YouTube stream, by tagging #ABTV Scandal. So let us know what you thought about this scene, specifically whether or not you think that Huck went one step too far, whether or not it was believable, and more importantly, would you have squealed? Would you have made something up? Again, #ABTV Scandal.
The family reunion T-shirt.
You know you
the quote of the night. I cannot.
You put the family reunion T-shirt on when you cleaning up and you got the pool.
So what do you guys think about the way OPA handled this situation? And once again, Quinn stepped up.
True, but she missed a day.
Okay.
And think about it, and I didn't realize this until we got into the studio. If she had gotten the information from Marla Gibbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Marla.
The first day, arguably they would have caught Olivia in time.
But what could she have done, because Marla wasn't having it? Like Marla said, where's the black lady?
But this is the problem is, you obviously know that she means Olivia. Yeah. Right? Mm. Olivia is missing. Yeah. You don't think maybe it's like a plant? Like you don't inquire anything? Like you don't know, and this is, I'm gonna go off on left field, but what's it called, like when you have a You almost have like a trigger, meaning like if you don't show up somewhere for X amount of days, all of these various things happen, right? You don't know that if Olivia doesn't, let's say, report and check into someone else that you're not aware of every like 24 hours, that someone doesn't come looking for her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? It was just a little bit, oh, whatever. It's just some old random lady asking for who's the black lady.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that she should have inquired a little bit more, even simply like, you didn't go downstairs and look where she went?
Yeah.
Like, again, she could be, and even on the flip side, she could have been a spy coming in to see what y'all know.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, again, this is Scandal.
Yeah.
People just randomly come up and Olivia's kidnapped, and you don't think anything of it. But yes, you are 100% correct. It was, in fact, twins. So go ahead. But I just had to nitpick for a second.
No, I would agree with that. But did anybody else smile when she came on the screen? Marla, it made me really happy.
Bamm yelled her name out when he saw her name on the credits.
Credits.
And I saw, I love Marla. I know her, so I love her. So I'm glad that she's still working at her age.
Yeah, she looks great though. Yeah. Black don't crack. But
I'm
then,
80.
But then I was laughing too because when she said I got her a life alert and she would not wear it, and I started thinking about the commercial. They're like, help, I can't get up.
Life alert saves the day.
Right? I like how this was dissected on how they handle it. I like how Jake jumped in and joined the team. I liked how later on David joins in and wears his, what do you say, like 18-gallon white hat or whatever.
10-gallon.
Yeah, it was like...
I'm about to play myself, and so I apologize. Maybe I'm actually just tired today. So when Huck said, no, she wears that ring for him, did I miss something? Did he give her a ring and I was never aware?
We didn't see that. We never saw a ring exchange.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure, right? Because he very clearly said, because Jake goes, oh, how do you know it's hers? And he goes, she never takes it off. She wears it for him.
No, we didn't see a ring
okay, I'm just making sure. I literally had a moment where I was like, maybe somebody needs to take my gladiator card.
Well, maybe that'll be an episode in the future called The Ring. Ooh. That would be good, though. Yeah. That could be like another The Trail type episode where we see another flashback, some more steamy moments. Which I liked how we saw some flashbacks from The Trail. We saw some flashbacks from The Trail.
And I think it was specific to show how the genesis of the relationship started. In that theoretically, regardless of what semantics or not, literally viewing the Constitution, that was their possibly illegal, but that was when they made a union, a marriage, whatever you want to call it. That was by them both touching over something that arguably is more legally binding than the Bible. Because if you think about it, most people get married over the Bible. To get married over the Constitution, theoretically, for two people who are about the Republic, is actually more legally binding. So I thought that was great. I think it reminded everyone of the genesis and where why their relationship is so powerful.
So when they went to the apartment, after they found out, that she lived across the hall and all those things, and I just want to hear your feedback because I want to make sure I'm not overanalyzing. Was it too quick that Huck found the ring under the carpet? I know Huck has that mind where he can see things, but I'm just wondering, was it too quick? Because it just, and I know where it's editing and everything.
No, I don't think so. Because think about Huck's job and what he used to do. This is Huck. That's his thing. He has a task and he is supposed to find everything about the area that is awkward. He can find cameras. That's why he used to go to Olivia's apartment and he would sweep for bugs.
Yeah.
True.
That's what he does.
And I'm gonna also co-sign with you, Kennelia, because Liv was very strategic in everything that she did, from the glass to everything. So she dropped the ring probably and slid it under there because she knows that one of the things that Huck does when he checks places is you sweep under the rug or something. So I'm just assuming that Olivia dropped it and did that specifically because she knows how he thinks.
It makes sense. That makes sense.
But good point though.
So then, to go forward in the episode, when they do find out the location and then David sends a DEA there, were you guys expecting what happened to happen?
Completely. And I think we talked about this when we were watching, and I actually was a little bit irritated because this is actually one of the times where I actually wish that they had done the scenes out of sequence. Right? So to me, the minute Olivia had her, I'm the Olivia Pope, and to me, let's just kind of back up because I think that we have a tendency sometimes to gloss over Olivia, number one, and sometimes I think we gloss over Kerry's acting a little bit too quick. her scenes were phenomenal.
Of course.
And I think that the way in which her brain worked and the fact that she realized that she had to save herself,
right.
The minute we saw those wheels turning, we knew that it would be too easy.
Right.
Right? Because they're laying all these things up that, you know, it's going to be 3 years, that eventually she's going to die, that they're going to keep holding on to her. So literally, it would have been actually anticlimactic for them to find her, right? But the fact that I think, and let us know out there in the Twitterverse or on YouTube what you thought if you saw it coming, but I think all 4 of us knew she wouldn't be there because she already set her plan in motion. And as we then saw, she was already on, what, a G4 or G5?
Yeah, plan was nice.
And it would have been too easy after us being away for 70 days and then coming and changing the whole dynamics of the show, and then for her to be found.
And then just go right back to it.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I do wonder is when was Fitz and when was everyone else to a certain extent gonna realize that they're gonna hold her for a long time?
Exactly.
Like there was so I'm gonna talk out of the other side of my mouth. I thought, and Guillermo's always phenomenal, so we're just gonna nix him out of this. And I thought Kerry's acting was phenomenal. Tony Goldwyn's acting was phenomenal, but didn't there not seem to be a sense of urgency? Like there didn't, like I personally, other than his scene with Melly, and maybe a little bit his scene with Cyrus, I wasn't feeling that the woman you love has been kidnapped. You have absolutely no idea what's being done to her. Her being safe, you're going to trust Andrew saying, oh, she's safe?
I think it goes back to, 1, he went back to the brown water.
Okay.
2, I think we're being hard because it kind of goes back to we were being kind of hard on Liv last week, too, when she was thrown into that situation.
Fair
I
enough.
think if we analyze it that way, he's already gone through this so many times with Liv. She went to the island with another man. Like, he's lost her so many times. Like, she agreed for him to get back with Melanie, and she would, like, step back, like, leave the White House. Like, so he's dealt with this so many times. Now it's like, again, but this time I understand the gravity of the situation is way deeper and her safety is in jeopardy. But what advantage would he have from rushing this when he doesn't have anybody he can trust, or he doesn't know who he can trust it, or how would he rush it without knowing who he can trust?
But not rushing it. But I guess okay, and maybe they you know how they're saying that Olivia's leaving breadcrumbs. Maybe they're leaving us breadcrumbs too, and maybe that's I think what's irritating me is the fact, like, how come they're not realizing that her life is in serious jeopardy and that the entire thing is like more orchestrated than possibly they think. So meaning just because he went to war, so what, who cares, like Bamm normally likes to say. Or am I reading too much into it? And that's why they had to, because think about it, if not for Melly.
Well, this is
No,
the
seriously,
question,
again,
right?
if not for Melly.
Yeah.
But
Olivia, there'd literally be no hope other than Olivia's game plan.
But is that in Fitz's character to take initiative that way?
Oh.
No, and see,
Okay.
and that's what I was going to
Like,
say.
is he that man?
No.
That when he gets that news, he's like, okay, got to do this, or is he that man that has to sit on it, sit at the desk, drink the brown water for a while, stir, and then try to figure it out that way?
We can go back all the way to season 1. The man moves like he has lead in his ass. Okay? That's what he does. And the fact that now his woman is gone, I felt he was in a... that's how he was giving me. Like, he was stressed, he was torn, he was literally in a state of, what am I gonna do?
Okay, but then on another note, too, and this isn't to say, just disregard the fact that Kerry Washington is the star of the show. Is Olivia truly in danger? And I say that because if Andrew really has this plan of, you know, you're going to give me what I want or I'll kill Olivia. So if he kills Olivia, then what?
Right, and that's why
he was never gonna kill her.
Exactly. So if he kills Olivia, then what? So then
I literally murder you dead in the streets.
Yes. So what? It doesn't. So maybe that's why he doesn't have this urgency, because yes, he knows that Olivia is in dangerous terms if she's not in her normal lifestyle.
Okay.
But I think Fitz is smarter than we're giving him credit, because Fitz Fitz really needs to sit on it. He needs to build that team and work on the people around him so he can figure out what to do.
See, and the only reason that I'm going to disagree is, and I said it from last episode, and I know that y'all probably don't believe this, but I'm actually extremely sensitive, and there's just certain things that I think you guys know. That's why, like, even Mellie's backstory, it ruffled me wrong. Mm-hmm. If Ian wasn't as intellectual as he is, and if Olivia wasn't as intellectual as she is, he would have already raped her.
I wrote that down in my notes.
Alluding to it in such a way, right? No, exactly. The fact that he keeps alluding it to such a way, and I'm not making. Actually, I'm going to go there. To me, rape is comparable to death. Like, that is one of the most egregious things you can do to someone. I think that from a criminal perspective, it is comparable to murder. You don't know where she is. You don't know what's being done to her. I'm not saying that he was remiss, but I still feel like there just somehow wasn't a sense of urgency. Like, I, as the viewer, was uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? That bathroom scene when Ian is behind her and the way he's looking at her, think about it. You have now been in captivity for arguably 30 plus days. And you can literally feel the heat of this man, and that's what he's doing. He keeps literally threatening that somebody is going to violate you. Somehow, that energy, that I can't even speak because I'm literally that emotionally there. Somehow I didn't feel that energy throughout the rest of the scenes. Okay. I needed that energy to permeate through every single scene. That arguably Olivia Pope could arguably either die or something unimaginable could happen to her. Somehow I didn't feel that.
I can get that.
I can get that. Yeah. Maybe he didn't take it there because of the person who orchestrated this. It's Andrew. Maybe that's why. Okay. Because when Andrew's a sucker. When you got a sucker like, I'm looking at Andrew like, okay, you have her. He may be, and I'm just throwing it out there, maybe he didn't think that Andrew was that kind of a person to put her in that serious of a situation. Maybe he thought he just had her somewhere, but not to the point where she would be raped or actually murdered. I don't know. Maybe.
I will have to say, with Olivia, though, I was very impressed with the glass water because I'm sure we were all thinking about it. We were watching this together. We were like, wait. She wouldn't just ask for a glass of water without it meaning something. That was really impressive. But I just like how Olivia is still staying sharp. I like how her mind is still there. Granted, if she would just stay put a little longer, they would have saved her. But it is what it is. And that's my one thing. Maybe my one issue is because how do I put it? So after she went missing, and after she went missing, and then they recorded this thing. Like record the footage. Recording the footage adds another element. So you did your little breadcrumb with the glass, but she didn't even give her team enough time to follow that breadcrumb. Does that make sense? Like she went straight to playing her next move as opposed to waiting to see, let me see if I can be saved. But then on the other hand, I want to know what Olivia's playing because Olivia may be thinking about her power now as opposed to just being saved. Does that make sense?
Oh,
like, snap. Is Olivia trying to plan for something bigger than what we think?
Like, meaning, is she making a power play beyond simply her own freedom?
Right. Yeah. Because her freedom would just bring the show back to normal. Correct? Like, if they saved her, she would go back to OPA, she would go back to solving cases, doing what Olivia Pope does. Olivia Pope is now doing a major power move by saying, you can sell me the black market, whatever. Obviously, she's not doing this, I don't think, to go against Fitz. But I'm excited. Let me just say that for a prediction. The other thing I want to do is, we haven't done this in a while. I just want you guys to piggyback on, at Coco Naomi TV said, he lit her back like Lizzie was in 12 Years a Slave. Which I would agree with that. I did have a reference to that. At Tula Rosebud said, I think that the Secret Service and staff, including Lauren, were replaced by the VP. No, right? No,
it's possible. It's possible because remember, even Melly said, they changed my Secret Service
in her email address. Yeah. But Andrew doesn't have. But in a normal situation, would the vice president have the power to do that?
Exactly. So
and this is the key thing is, and I'm sorry, to me this is a plot hole. And without Lizzie's knowledge.
right.
Because Lizzie is the power player. Of
Right.
the two of them, Lizzie is the chairperson of the RNC. She's literally the Miss Moneybags. Just like you said, Andrew just came in the White House. What? Again, he's been there a year.
Yeah.
Not even. Plot hole. Sorry.
And then I'll go back to Coco Naomi TV. You guys need to tweet us more so I can read some tweets. Tony Goldwyn revealed that those Olivia rings were from Fitz.
Well,
Yeah, we know that, but again, well, tell her to ask Tony Goldwyn
Right.
if we had seen evidence of that. No, I'm being dead serious. If we had seen evidence of that before, because I was really feeling all like insecure, like I missed
Right.
something.
Did we miss something? Like we break it down? Did we miss the rings?
Yeah.
But anyway, overall, I think it was a good episode, and I'm excited for next week. Obviously, talking to you guys helped me get more excited. But let's go ahead and go into predictions. Or did you guys have? Oh yeah. Oh wait. So now we have a special moment of the show where Kennelia does her co-piece of the week.
So, co-piece of the week for Scandal Season 4, Episode 11. It's a two-part co-piece this week, guys. First, I'm going to give it to Andrew for obvious reasons. First of all, like we said, he has a baggy suit on and you have all of this power and connections, but you can't find a decent tailor in the District of Columbia. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay? You know all of these people, but you finally made yourself available in the White House because Sally Langston left. Really get out of here, Andrew. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to say about that. And the second cold piece goes to Melly for obvious reasons, meaning once she heard about what was going on and once she talked to Lizzie, she actually had her wheels going in motion and she figured out what the problem was. She slept with Andrew. She put him to bed like Jay Holiday. Then she took the cell phone out of his drawer and gave them the information. Melly was the one who got the job done in this episode, and for that reason, I'm giving her cold piece of the week.
Okay. I like those. Make sure you let us know who your co-piece is. Tweet us, especially Kennelia, to let us know.
Hashtag co-piece.
I like the unison there. All right, and now let's go into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So like I said, I'll just make mine quick. It's just going to piggyback off what I was saying. The show is now in its 4th season. They are trying to clearly go in a different direction. Right now, the direction is not my favorite one, but if they start to go in where I think they may possibly be going with giving Olivia a different type of power, I'm here for it. So I just want to see where they're going with that, and hopefully it's going where I think it's going. I don't know exactly where it's going, but in the direction I want it to go. Tweet me. Go ahead.
I predict that now that Olivia has done this and put herself on the black market, I don't think things are going to go as smoothly as she would plan. Mainly because she mentioned like drug cartels, like the mob, stuff like that. So now you're really playing with goons. So I think they're going to introduce a new goon character into the scenario because there has to be someone who is that aggressive and that evil enough to appear to be able to put up that kind of money for Olivia Pope for the sake of being the puppet master for the president. And I also think Maya is going to get involved. We saw her like a little bit in the sneak preview, but she showed us last season that she had connections to finding this type of money around the world and dealing with these type of people. So I think she's the person that they're going to tap to try to help.
Okay.
I actually don't have a prediction, not really, but I'm definitely going to piggyback off of Emile's. That's just brilliant. And kind of piggybacking off of that, I feel like the secret of the affair has to come out. You can't dangle the affair basically on the black market that you theoretically are the president's lover and have that somehow then what? All of these criminals are just going to keep it secret?
True.
I don't know. I just don't buy it. Like, I know that there's like some criminal conspiracy underworld, but somehow I'm like, no, the secret has to come out.
That's actually a good point because then if you go to these criminals, you have to explain to them how Olivia is the president. Good point.
My only prediction is I think this direction that they're going, where Liv is now trying to do the whole power play, I think is going to affect her more so, and I don't think we're going to go into the daily whodunits, the weekly scandals. This is going to take us into a whole new level of scandal, and I think it's going to hurt her and it's going to push her away and get her in more trouble, which is going to at some point cause to, I think we're in episode 11. Oh Lord. So I mean, 22. So we have. Well,
the road is long.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long road, and
Forgive us today, please.
you know, and I think when she finally comes back, it's gonna be like this OMG like crazy moment. So I think it's gonna be good.
Cool. Well, let us know what you think. You can tweet us. Where can we find you guys?
You can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen.
All social media at Sofia Stanley.
All social media at Kennelia.
At Emile Ennis Jr. on YouTube, Chasing LA, and check out bestin.social. Guys, we love doing this every week. Make sure you tweet us, continue the conversation online. We will continue the conversation with you. Hashtag ABTV Scandal. And once again, if you're watching us on YouTube, click that like button, thumbs up ASAP. All right, guys, we love you so much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Where the black lady?
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.